U.S. tariffs on $7.5 billion worth of imports from the European Union went into effect today. Tariffs are hitting products like British sweaters, Spanish olives, German coffee, Italian cheeses, and, say it isn't so, Irish and Scotch whiskeys. The tariffs are used in retaliation over a long-running complaint over subsidies given to Airbus, one of Boeing's top competitors. Joining us now is Jim Roberts. He's a research fellow at the Heritage Foundation and a former U.S. State Department official. And Jim, it's good to have you here. Just first off, what is your take on the current situation with these tariffs?
Well, if we back up a little, I think we have to say that this decision is good news for supporters of a rules-based international trading system, which is something we've argued here at Heritage for, to bolster free trade and have it be not have it be so ad hoc as it is at the moment. But it's clear that the WTO has affirmed the U.S. contention that these massive EU corporate subsidies hurt Boeing and other competitors, some of their subcontractors, and this is the result of that. And so, I think going forward, you're going to have these tariffs, unfortunately, being levied. But first of all, the EU has to at least commit to stopping these illegal practices, and then in an ideal world, they could go to Airbus, the EU, and reclaim these subsidies and do some kind of reparation payment to Boeing and other competitors in the U.S. After all, these several $100 billion in lost sales over 15 years, that also cost many, many American workers their jobs. So it's clear that, we don't live in an ideal world. And so these, given the state of the current trading system, this is the proper decision, and these punitive tariffs will have to be levied. If we lived in a better world, this wouldn't be the case, and also it's going to be unfortunate and bad news for American consumers of those fine European products.
Yeah, I want to talk a little bit more about that. Let's see which products, which industries are going to be hit the hardest here, do you think?
Well, clearly some of the ones you mentioned that are very high visibility, the cheeses, other dairy products, some meat products, some high-profile manufactured consumer goods, certainly wine and spirits, which also have high visibility and a lot of appeal in the U.S. And obviously it's going to hit aircraft, but those are some of the other segments that have been targeted by USTR, the president's trade advisor.
Europe's trade chief, Cecilia Malmström, slamming the U.S.'s move to impose tariffs on these European products. And she said to Reuters, quote, "This step leaves us no alternative but to follow through in due course with our own tariffs in the Boeing case, where the U.S. has been found in breach of WTO rules." What might that retaliation look like, do you think, Jim?
Well, it's another unfortunate case where this time American producers and European consumers will be hit, just as the opposite of this case today. But yes, I don't expect that this arbitration award to be quite as historic. I mean, the one today on Boeing was the largest arbitration award in the history of the WTO. Nevertheless, I'm sure they will target high visibility, popular name brand American products that people all over the world like. And you can just imagine some of the famous whiskeys we produce, other, the same thing, other meat products, maybe dairy, some other consumer goods that then will just cost more money in Europe, unfortunately.
All right, we're going to leave it there. James Roberts, thanks so much for being with us today.
Hey investors, Zach Guzman here. Are you interested in learning more about the markets and getting the latest financial news? Well, then click right here to subscribe to our Yahoo Finance YouTube channel. Get the latest up-to-the-minute market analysis, big interviews in the world of finance, and information on how to manage your money every day wherever you are.